Hey, what is going on, everyone? So I believe that success leaves clues. And today I want to go through of the female clients in our coaching program who are crushing it. What are they actually doing? What are their habits? What are their character traits? And today I've identified 4 traits of our top success stories for what they have in common. And I'm going to share those with you today. And for those who don't know who I am, my name is Luke Briggs. I'm the owner of the Total Life Fitness Academy, where we specialize in helping parents and busy professionals lose body fat, build muscle, and have more energy. I've been a coach for over 10 years, and I've worked with nearly 3,000 clients. So in some ways, what I'm going to give you is a peek inside our Total Life Fitness Academy coaching program. I'm going to take you through how we operate a little bit, what it's like to work with us. And as you can probably tell by now, I talk about the real stuff, not just like hit your macros or do this crazy fancy new workout. Workouts in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to body transformation, are really not the most important thing. Nutrition and your mindset and habits are going to get you much further. And that's why right now I want to go through actionable stuff. So, what are 4 traits of our top female body transformation clients? What are they actually doing? I'm going to share those with you right now. So, number 1 is they take responsibility for their success. Number 1 is they take responsibility for their success. I'll give you a couple of examples. One of our members, Sophie, she's been in our program a few months now. So she posted the other day on Facebook a before and after transformation photo of herself from like a few months ago, maybe it was like 7, 8, 9 months ago till now. And she's lost, I think it's either 30 or 35 pounds and gotten back to her pre-pregnancy weight. That was a big thing for her. She wanted to get back to just kind of feeling like herself. She's in a leadership position at work and has young kids and wanted to get back to feeling like her fit, healthy self. And one thing about Sophie is that she travels internationally like multiple times every month. And I'm talking like all over the world. So for her, like she's going into situations and she like doesn't even know what the culture is even like or what they're going to have. And she's seen all these results despite all those challenges. Plus, she works well over 40 hours a week. She has all the household responsibilities at home with the kids and is married, everything else. Yet she continues to make herself a priority. No matter what she has going on, she continues to get her workouts in. She continues to track her food. She continues to make herself a priority. So Sophie takes responsibility for success and realizes that by making herself a priority, she's able to show up better for others. Another one of our members, Leah, is someone who I've actually known for a number of years. She's very hardworking, determined. She's always been like very fit and athletic. So she joined our coaching program toward the end of December. And in early February, after she'd only been in the program for a very short time, had an accident and unfortunately broke her leg, which for her as someone who's super active, like you have to imagine like how tough that was on her because she's so used to being active and going everywhere. And she was like in crutches. I mean, she was like hardly moving throughout the day. You know, mentally, it was definitely a challenge for her. And well, about 3 months after that happened, you know, a little over 3 months after that happened, I looked at her stats and looked at her progress photos, and she was the leanest I've ever seen her. She had dropped 22 pounds and was lean and just like you could clearly tell that she'd put in a lot of work. And I remember reaching out to her and we chatted about it. I'm like, wow, I mean, what have you been doing during this time? Like you broke your leg. And she's like, yeah, I know I broke my leg. You know, it was unfortunate, but I realized like now that means now is a really good time to focus on my nutrition. What else am I going to do with my time? So a lot of people in that situation might have said like, hey, I broke my leg. You know, I'm screwed. I'm not going to be able to see any results. Oh, I'm just going to give up for now. I'll start again once I'm healthy. Instead, Leah took the opposite approach. She said, hey, I broke my leg. That actually gives me more time to focus on my nutrition. We adjusted her nutrition accordingly, and she was able to see really good results during this time because she made no excuses. She didn't say, woe is me. She said, hey, here's what I can do during this time. Many of our successful members have multiple kids, work over 40 hours a week, and they still make time. They don't think that it's selfish to prioritize themselves. Usually when I do the initial call with them, they'll tell me that they're worth it. They tell me that working on themselves makes them better for others. They're in a better mood. They have better health. They have better energy throughout the day. They tell me like they're not snapping at their kids as much. They're calmer. They're more patient during the week. And they're actually more energized to go out and do things, do activities with their kids, do activities with their families, be in family photos, go on hikes, whatever it is, because they are making themselves a priority. And then they're showing up better for their families and for others as well. So, you can even look at it as like, take a look at yourself right now. Are you a victim or a victor? Are you someone who is using certain things as a reason why you can't do something? Or are you someone who takes responsibility for everything and saying, even though I have a lot going on, I can still make myself a priority? That's what a lot of our most successful female clients inside our program do, and do a very good job of. So that's trait number one, is they take responsibility for their success. Number two trait is they are organized. Number two trait is they are organized. One of our members, Sarah, so we've been working together for a while now. And when she first came to me a couple of years ago, she had lost about maybe 20 pounds on her own, but she was doing it in a way that was like very unsustainable. I think she was doing like low carb. She just felt like I couldn't, go out on the weekends and have fun. She just felt like it was very restrictive and not sustainable. So she joined our program and ended up dropping her final 30 pounds in a very sustainable manner. I think it was at least 30 pounds. It might have actually been a little bit more, maybe like 35 to 40. But either way, she lost about I want to say about 50 pounds overall. And she still sustained it over 2 years later. She sustained her results. And, I was kind of talking with her one day about like, what are some of the habits or things that she's doing? And she told me that when she and her significant other get done with work and, dinner or whatever for the day, they sit down and they are having, they're just sitting on the couch, watching TV, watching a show, whatever it is. And for the first 5 minutes of the show that they're watching, she actually pre-logs her food for the next day in a food tracking app. So she's already planning out what she's going to have for the next day. She's not just waking up the next day and saying, what am I going to have today? I have no idea what I'm going to have. She's very organized and methodical in her approach. I've noticed a very common thing among our most successful members is they don't use words like, I hope. They don't say things like, I hope to be better this week. I hope that I'm going to have more time this week. I'm hoping things will slow down. When do things ever slow down? They never do. Something will always come up. So instead of hoping and praying that things are going to be better, you need to just make them happen. So our most successful female clients say things like, I'm going to. I have a full week at work, but I'm going to make sure that I make time for meal prep. I'm going to make sure that I make time for working out. They put them in their calendar. They check in with us in our program every single week. They update their data, their weight, their measurements, their progress photos. They check in with their coach. They show up consistently and they don't get distracted. They schedule their workouts and they do them every day. Some of our members really like doing their workouts first thing in the morning. They're like, I just want to get it out of the way first thing in the morning, before the rest of my family's up, before I go to work. I know then that I have it done and I don't have to think about it the rest of the day when something comes up and, inevitably throws our schedule off. And then some of our female clients in our program who are moms who do really well work out at night. And they're like, hey, I just really like, after I put the kids to bed, I go do my thing and, maybe eat dinner after that, or they eat dinner with the family, whatever it is, but they're just consistently doing it at night. And they always do it at about the same time and same days each week. They're very regimented. They're creatures of habit. Again, they're not just winging it week to week. And for you, maybe you work out better earlier in the morning, maybe you work out better at night. The exact time that you work out doesn't matter as much as just that you can be consistent doing it. If you can be consistent at night and actually do it consistently, even though I talk a lot about the mornings on this podcast, by all means, do it at night if you can be consistent, right? So our unsuccessful clients, or the people who I've just run across who aren't as successful, they're always trying to fit it in. They're like, I'm trying to fit it in. Anytime you try to do anything, I pretty much already know that means you're not going to do it. So don't just work to fit it in this week. Actually be consistent with it. Schedule it. Plan for it. Don't hope and pray that you're going to do it. Schedule it. Because when you schedule it, it's actually going to happen. Number 3 trait of our most successful female clients who have gone through body transformations is that they track their data. Number 3 is that they track their data. It's kind of a joke among the coaches, the Total Life Fitness Academy coaching staff. So we use this coaching app, and whenever we look at our clients' data, like their nutrition tracking, you can literally just look at their food log and know whether they're successful. Like all of our most successful transformations, they log every day and they hit their nutrition targets every day. If you look at them over the course of a month, they might have 1 or 2 days or just a couple of days here or there that are off, but they are very regimented with tracking and keeping awareness of their food. And then as soon as you look at their weight and measurements, they're pretty much always going in the direction that they want them to because they're so consistent. And then for our members who aren't as successful, if you look at their food log, it's they log for a couple days, then they don't log for a couple days. They log Monday through Friday. Maybe they log half the day on Friday, don't log on Saturday or Sunday. And they have a couple weeks where it's completely off. They fall off track. And then you look at their measurements and weight, and they wonder why they're not having success. It's because they're not consistent. So, Sophie or Leah or Sarah or another one of our members, Julie, whenever we look at and there are other members as well, those are just off the top of my head. Whenever we look at their nutrition logs, it's like clockwork. Their food is logged and they've hit their targets. They're not following strict meal plans. They're having some flexibility in their plan. They're just hitting their targets each day. They're hitting their calories and protein or macros or whatever it is that they're targeting within 5% either way. So when someone first joins our coaching program right now, we actually show them the difference between a successful and a not successful member in terms of what their food log looks like. The example that we give is one of our past members who's been successful. We show it and it's literally logged like clockwork every single day. And then one of our other past members who wasn't as successful, we literally show them their food log and it's didn't log for a week, logged for 4 days, didn't log for 4 days, and then on repeat. And we say in this example, both of these members are working moms who have multiple kids and were not tracking prior to joining our program. So they both have the same situation, the same circumstances, yet they have completely different results. And it is in large part because they're just consistent with tracking their nutritional data. So just be consistent with tracking your data. Track your weight, your waist, your hip measurements, progress photos. If you track data, you'll be able to make data-driven decisions with what to do with your nutrition to get better results or with your workouts. If you are not actually tracking any data or numbers, how do you know if what you're doing is even working? You don't, because you're just guessing. So number 3 character trait or characteristic of our most successful female client transformations, they track their data consistently. Number 4 success habit of our most successful female client transformations is they ignore what others say or do. Number 4 is they ignore what others say or do. And maybe they don't, none of us are immune to completely ignoring what other people are saying or doing, right? And that's why this is the hardest part for some people. So one of our members, Sarah, she's been in our program, I want to say a little less than a year now. Like, it is incredible to see how much she has transformed. Like, she was having some success in another area of her life, but just hadn't really seen any success with her like physical body. And she's like, it's time. I want to work on making sure my physique is keeping up with the other things that I'm being successful with right now. And she had trouble at first, and she had so many naysayers in her life. And this is a different Sarah I'm talking about. But she just ignores what other people say. She just does what she wants to do. And now she's literally like sharing her transformation on social media, what she's doing, and she's inspiring all sorts of other people to make changes in their lives as well. She ignores what other people are saying or doing who want to bring her down, and she just knows that I'm just going to do this. Peer pressure is a real thing when it comes to body transformation. I can't tell you how many people have perfect intentions. They're like, I'm going to track my food. I'm going to work out consistently. They have the best plan in the world. But then as soon as they get exposed to their peers, they're like, oh, why are you eating so healthy now? You shouldn't be eating this healthy. Come on, live a little. How often am I in town? They say all these things to you. Or, oh, are you actually eating today? Right? They say all these things to you. And some people let it trigger them. And some people just push it to the side and say, hey, if you want to do that, that's good for you. So real talk right now, and this may sound kind of harsh or mean, but look at the person who's giving you the advice. So you wouldn't take money advice from someone who's broke. You wouldn't take relationship advice from someone who has been divorced 5 times. So why would you take nutrition advice from someone who does not have the results that you want to have? Why would you take nutrition or fitness advice from someone who does not have the results or is not moving toward the results that you want to have as well? It doesn't make sense. So why are you so concerned about what everyone else is saying or doing if they don't have the results you want? Another thing in terms of ignoring what others say or do is our most successful members, they don't get shiny red object syndrome. They're not program hoppers. That's what I was for so many years. Like the first few years of my fitness career, I would find a program that some celebrity was doing, or I found on some website or on some blog, and I would do it for a couple weeks. And all of a sudden I'd see, oh, hey, here's some other celebrity's program or bodybuilder's program. Wow, they're really muscular. I'm going to do that program. And then I would find another program and then do that program. And I wonder why I was never having success is because I was a program hopper. I wasn't actually sticking to the plan. If you just follow a solid plan for a long period of time and you don't have any big gaps in it, eventually you're going to be successful. Just follow the line. The path to success is a line straight ahead. Focus. Be disciplined. Don't get distracted. It's so many people are so worried about what everyone else is doing. Oh, but this person did keto. Oh, but this person did intermittent fasting. Oh, my friend did this program. My other friend did that program. If you're so worried about what everyone else is doing and you're not following the steps you need to follow consistently for a long period of time, It's no wonder you're not being successful. You need our most successful members, they just stick with the plan. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. If you've gotten value out of this podcast episode or this podcast in general, please, please, please take 10 seconds out of your day. Just hit back if you're on Apple iTunes or Spotify. Go to the program page, hit 5 stars on the review. Take 10 seconds to write us a quick line or review. It helps us so much because that will allow us to grow the show and reach more people. I intentionally, like, recently I've been going in and rating some podcasts because I want people to secretly do that for me so it can help us reach more people. So hopefully this has been helpful. Again, if you have any further questions or want to check out more of what we have to offer, check out the links that I have in the description. We have a free Facebook group. We have an Instagram page. We have a YouTube channel where a lot of the content that we post on the podcast also gets posted to YouTube. We have some other stuff as well, but make sure to say hello, drop us a line, and we will chat soon.